Welcome to the homestead, everybody. I want to show you how I build this simple yet revolutionary piece of equipment for my bees when it comes to overwintering my bees. This is called the sugar box here at the homestead. And in addition to showing you this simple build, I'll also show you how I implement this equipment for wintertime for the bees to help ensure their survival. It all starts at the lumber yard. So we're gonna go look for 1.5 inch wide by 3/4 inch fairing strips. And these are untreated. Just make sure you find some that don't have bug holes in them because fairing strips tend to be scrap pieces of wood from the lumber yard. After that, we're gonna get our chop saw, we're gonna get our finish nails, and we're gonna get our glue. Now, before you go off of my dimensions, I implore you to make sure you measure the dimensions of your bee boxes, especially if you make your own. For example, we make our own, and the dimensions for this box is 14 5/8 for the short piece, and then the long piece is 20 inches. We're gonna start by chopping out these 14 5/8 inch pieces, and after that, we're gonna chop a pile of these 20 inch pieces. And then after that, we're gonna take our glue. I use exterior wood glue, and we're gonna glue a 90-degree butt joint right here. I'm gonna take 2 finish nails and zip those in, and I'm ready to stack these for curing. When I stack these sugar boxes one on top of the other, I'll add some weight. So a full honey box full of a few frames, or even stacking some weights on top just to make sure that these are nice and level. I'll let these cure overnight so the glue's nice and dry, and then it's time for installation. For installation, I need a couple more items. I need some newspaper, a spray bottle full of water, and then 10-pound bags of sugar. The reason I am specific to 10-pound bags is one of these frames, when on top a 10-frame Langstroth brood box, will hold pretty much exactly 10 pounds of dry granulated sugar. First things first, we're going to go ahead and lay the newspaper out, and then I'm going to dampen that newspaper so that the sugar will start to stick and make a crust as it absorbs that moisture, and that will prevent avalanches of white sugar into the hive over the winter. I'll then pour on that white sugar, get it nice and level, and then I will also spray the top, again trying to make a crust. Once you have the damp sugar in place, then you can add the lid on top. Don't forget your inner cover, and that's it. And what I love about this system is it does 3 things for the bees. Not only does it provide food for the winter in case they run out of honey in their honey frames, but it absorbs moisture in case you have condensation issues within the hive. And then third, we have an 1.5 inch thick piece of insulation that is between the bees and the inner cover and then the lid. And so, yes, eventually we'll lose that insulation as the bees eat through it. We're hoping that most of these bees, they're not going to eat through it until the very end of winter, beginning of spring when it starts to warm. If you'd like more beekeeping videos from the Grateful Ambition channel, you can check them out right here.